All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody who joined in here. One second. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Greetings. Good, good, good. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, what a day today! Pretty wild stuff. So good stuff. We'll get into it in a little bit here. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is, well, actually, today we're going to be talking about day trading compression. We're going to be continuing our conversation on day trading compression. And today we're going to be talking about triangles. So, it should be a good one right here. Give me 1 second. Let me get this everything pulled up here. Sorry, I was a little bit late there. It was just DMing with the group here. 1 second. All right. So good, good, good. All right. Well, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. So today, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, obviously. We're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what they've got setting up for us tonight, possibly going into tomorrow. And then we're going to go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started here. So the SPX today, pretty wild stuff, right? So up 27 points, green month so far. Weekly chart starting to make a push off of last week's hammer. We still got a lot of week left, right? So let's see how it kind of handles these areas. We're coming into that gap window right here, guys, if you can believe it. So, just a couple of weeks ago, right, we were talking about weekly charts and how those gaps are major targets right here. So we're getting really really close to this. So let's see how that handles. Now, one of the things that it could do is could turn to a potential resistance, pull back a little bit, and then try to make another attempt to fill it. So very very important stuff here. So let's take a look here. A daily chart, right? We pushed above those levels, the prior highs on this. This was kind of the key level to get above, right? This red candle right here. Now that we've taken that out, that's important, right? So now we've got a fresh high to deal with, and we're holding a fresh trend line because of the recent high that took those levels out. SPY actually took this out today, and then that gave it a fresh trend line as well. So here's that open gap that you saw on the weekly chart too. So on the daily. So good stuff. So let's take a look at the price action here today. So pretty wild stuff, right? So initially, right, we had a flat open, right? A little bit of a push, right? Up, and it was a lot of back and forth action right here. So it was kind of tough, right? In the futures, we were in between a couple zones, in between a couple levels. Made it a little bit tricky. And then we had this inside 15 at the 15 or below, and then we launched off of that. We got over the 15, we got over the 8 EMA, over the 15 orb, and we held that all day and just stayed strong on it, which is pretty impressive. Impressive stuff. So, really the big winner today was the Qs, right? So I'm going to pull it up right here. We normally focus on the S&P, but the Qs were just so strong today, right? They didn't even give you a time to do the inside 15. These just decided to take charge today and just carry the market, right? And why were the Qs up so much? It wasn't because the whole Nasdaq was strong. It was because the big ones were strong today. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, right? All these big names today were so strong today, they just carried the whole market up, right? And including the S&P, right? So Apple is weighted on the S&P, right? Amazon's weighted on this. So a lot of them are dual weighted, right? But the Qs took charge, right? So you saw the SPX, right? The SPY, right? They gave you that initial pause candle right here at the lows before it moved, and the Qs just kind of went going right away. And the SPY, the SPX played catch up. So that was kind of an interesting day. We've been seeing that a lot more recently. These divergences between the S&P and the Nasdaq, and they've been really really significant. So a lot of times if the SPY is kind of looking a little bit heavy, we wait for the Nasdaq to sort of kind of align with it, and then we look to take a short opportunity or vice versa. Today was kind of like just interesting, right? So it was just basically like the Qs were strong and the SPY was playing catch up with it. So it was a really really interesting day today, but it was good because most of our go-to list names are on the Nasdaq, and they're those high beta tech names which like to give good moves. So again, really really impressive stuff today on the SPX. So good. So let's take a look here, and here's the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. So you can see how important they were today, right? So we had, we held the 15 or below, we held the daily pivot level. We kind of chopped around this area right here as a bit of a triangle type move, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today, right? So we had a nice triangle move right here. This is your compression intraday, and then you got the breakout of the triangle here to get a good move right to the upside. So very, very beautiful. Got to the next levels and got to the next level, really, really close to the next levels up. So good stuff. Let's take a look at the futures, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this here today and show some examples. Let's take a look at the futures and see what they're up to here this evening. So another choppy, sloppy session so far, but we'll see what they have in store for tomorrow. I don't mind the flat opens. Right? It's better than taking all the meat off the bone, before the market opens. So that's good. So that gave us at least something to work with today. So let's see what they have in store for tonight. Right. So here's the S&P futures here tonight. We had, like I said, we opened between two major zones right here. It looked like I was originally thinking we'd kind of push down to here and then bounce. But one of the big things that happened throughout the night is we held this this major geometric line right here. Which served as support a couple times for a couple different bounces. Then we broke below it, formed a fresh signal zone at the bottom. Then we opened between here, right? So it was a good range right here, and then we got in these really really tight ranges. What was really cool, right, is that triangle actually appeared right here at the top of our signal zone area, and it gave a breakout there and started to move. So we got a couple levels right here that we're tracking, right? So we've got this this zone right here, or this geometric line right here through the night. So let's see if that holds right. Might pull back there and try to work its way back up. But in the meantime, right, we're basically just kind of chopping around a little bit right here. So let's see how these levels hold going into tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, so let's take a look and see where we left. Let's take a look at the topic here. And so today we're going to be continuing our conversation on day trading compression. And today we're going to be talking about triangles. So again, by compression, guys, this is the stuff where the chart moves, right, price moves, and then it pauses, right, and those pauses are really big indications of potential moves, right? So yesterday we talked about flags, right? So we saw, a pretty cool flag today on AMD, which gave a move, and then also there's triangles. That's another compression, right? That's where, you have a higher high, a lower low, and then a lower high, and then a higher low, and then a lower high, and then a higher low, and it just starts getting tighter and tighter and tighter before it breaks out one way or another. The ideal situation is that it goes in the continuation of a move, so you can look to get either another entry if you got out on a pullback, or look to get an initial entry on that too, or just kind of keep your fingers crossed if you're holding in through that compression so it doesn't break to the other direction, right? So that's the idea. So let's take a look at some triangle examples here today. So again, we saw this here on the S&P today. Right, so we had an initial move up right here, and then we got that low, the high, the higher low, the lower high, the higher low, right? So you get really, really tight in here, right? And then that's your compression, right? So what we look for is a breakout of these levels. So we traded this today on SPY. We got a nice move here out of this kind of minor compression right here. Is a little bit of a kind of a minor flag, right? And then that gave us a nice breakout here with volume and gave us a nice move up, and then continued to work its way up there into the end of the day. So this is great, right? This is what we like, right? So these provide oftentimes symmetrical moves, right? There's your the top of your triangle, right? So we we take that right here, we move this, and then you kind of move it up to the essentially to the other end of the flag, and you can see right here we got a nice symmetrical move up on this compression here, on this triangle move up. So I love triangles, guys. These are one of my favorite things to trade because they get really, really tight, and it's very, very clear when you can break out. Now we've talked about triangles in the past, right? I prefer a longer triangle like this. Right, because typically, very similar to this, you get a breakout and it starts to go. But if you get a kind of a larger triangle, like a more a tighter, higher slope triangle like this, a lot of times you get a breakout, right? And then it comes back and retests the triangle. So that's tough, right? You get in here and then it gives this nasty pullback. It's like as soon as you get in, it pulls back, right, and tests these levels. So on these tighter triangles, we like to look for the entry on the pullback to the triangle, and then we get to go. Right, so that's the idea with these triangles here. So this is a good compression move on this one. So before we take a look at another example of that one, I just want to show you AMD. This is from yesterday, from the conversation yesterday. So AMD gave a great flag opportunity today. So it had a huge move up this morning. We traded this morning on the long side, and then it gave this nice flag move right here. Right, so this is a nice compression right here. It got really, really tight. Right, it wasn't flushing. We weren't breaking down. The market wasn't breaking down. The Qs were still strong. So when you have the sector that's strong like that, like the Qs were today, and then you have a stock that's a part of that sector that is strong, and it's just kind of given this pullback here, right? Then you can look for those flag type situations and look to try to see those to break to the upside. And we did. We got a nice breakout candle right here, increased volume, and that gave a nice little move. A little choppy here at the end of the day, but just really, really continued to push its way up off of that one. So great stuff here. Let's keep an eye on AMD and see if that continues to go into tomorrow. So again, a couple examples here with some triangles, guys. Now, Reversal triangles. This happened here on Tesla today. So Tesla is a Nasdaq stock, right? So and the Nasdaq was strong. So maybe, just maybe, today was a day for Tesla to to get going again, right? So we had a perfect triangle right here. It was actually an initial move down, and then the whole day, right, the whole morning, right, all the way right to 12 o'clock was just tight, chop, chop, chop. Now it looked like for a while that Tesla was going to chop for a long time. Now here's an example of a triangle on the daily chart. Big move, pause, right, compression. Okay, here we even had the double inside day right here. Then we had a really tight move, tight range on Friday. So, and it looked like we were going to get tight into earnings, right? But it already decided to break out of that move. So, so compression to expansion right here. Now, this was a tight triangle. So, is it possible that Tesla comes back and does that? Yes, it is. But let's continue to keep an eye on it, see if it gets any follow through the upside. It's already up 20 points after hours. But you know how Tesla is. It doesn't take much for it to just get going again. So pretty cool stuff right there, right? And so that's just one of the great points here with with these moves is that definitely always pay, especially with these moves that move big, right? So one of the things to think about, right, is that when we're trading, right, it's just a default in the nature of like human nature, right? If something's going up, we think it's going to keep going up, right? If something's going down, we think it's going to keep going down. It's just our nature, right? So we always have to, as traders, we always have to question whether or not it's ready, right? It's ready to reverse, or it's ready to pull back. That's why we have techniques. That's why we have the trend line techniques. Some indicators can help with that, but mostly price action and volume really can give us that indication. But you can also use Fibonacci's, things like that too. But it's always important to ask when things are moving to be like, okay, is this thing done? And if so, why? What could be happening here that I'm not seeing? Right, so that's the thing with Tesla, right? We got a compression right here too. We had a big move up right here. We got really, really tight with another little, triangle type move, right? Got really, really tight. Then we broke out there. We moved up, right? So, when you get caught in these kind of compression moves, it seems like it's going to do it forever. And in fact, it seemed like that today. Right, so here, we're just kind of okay, choppy, 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 and it's not until you really notice what the pattern is right here, right? Until you can look for a possible change in composure, a possible shift. So Tesla was a very interesting one today because it was an initial move down, right? And it was no slouch move down. It was 30 points. I mean, that's still a pretty big move, right? So the idea is like, what's it going to do, right? Well, that's the beauty of triangles. Is why I love triangles so much. Is it's pretty much going to tell you, especially on these high beta names, right? If we had a big breakdown candle right here with big volume, chances are we'd probably get some continuation downside, maybe another 30 points to give us a symmetrical move, right? But in this case, it was holding the 15 orb low, and this triangle ended up breaking to the upside, right? We've got some really, really good volume confirmation right here. So to get to the next level, here's your, here's your 15 orb, and then it blasted through that level, then gave some more volume here, and then continue to move, and then look at that. It gave you another triangle here intraday, right? So it got compressed again. Now, again, compression on Tesla, might be like 10 points, and then it started to work its way back up to, again, after that for another move up into the end of the day. So really, really cool stuff, guys. And then there was one more today, too. Again, another NASDAQ stock. Again, the Qs were really, really strong today. Facebook gave a very interesting triangle today. So today's move on Facebook was really pretty incredible, right? Because it flushed at the open, right? It was like giving up, and then they bought the dip on it, right? So sometimes when you see these moves, right, it's like, wow, that move is huge, right? You broke through the 15 orb. I love the inside 5 right here, break out to the upside. So that's great. And then what happens? You get compressed. Well, did it reverse? No. Was the NASDAQ strong? Yes. Right? So that's one of the key things to keep an eye on, to make sure these sectors are good right here. And what I liked about Facebook today is it gave a nice triangle move right here, and then gave a beautiful breakout candle right here, nice momentum move through that triangle range, paused a little bit, and then gave another push to the upside. So, so really, really important stuff. So again, anytime you see a big move, but anytime you're able to draw a triangle, especially on a high beta name like Tesla, or you see a big move in the sector strong, you see a pause, look for those pause type moves, and then look for a breakout out of those triangles, out of that compression to expansion. So good stuff, guys. Well, I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. So Benson sending a few in via Twitter. So let's take a look at that here. So we've got Twitter is an interesting one to look at. So somebody asked me what I think about Twitter before earnings. Well, I said I don't know because nobody really knows what these things are going to do, right? So I was kind of being silly. But the idea is right here, we had a nice breakout on Twitter today, but the problem is we didn't have a lot of volume. We do have earnings coming out right here, so it might be working on an earnings run, right? We closed over some major levels right here, right? So it looks like we got a good close above these levels here, so that's good, right? We got a gap up here, so we may see a little bit of a gap fill right here. It may try to work its way up for an earnings run on that on Twitter. So let's see if it can do that here for us. But again, the low volume is a little bit concerning. But it was on our bullish radar going in today. We just like how close it was getting for a potential momentum move on it. Right, LVGO, big move on this one today too. I like how it kind of broke out of that flag pattern there with some good volume. So it's again, there's that compression to expansion. We talked about that yesterday. Run. Inside day up, right? Gave a nice move right there. Just watch the upper shadow on this one, guys. The solar stocks have just been so strong for the last couple days. Last couple weeks. So really, really impressive move. Nice run on run. And then FSOI, is it ready? Well, we talked about this. The only thing right now is that we're in the trend box, right? So again, it could continue to make a move up right here. The ADMA started to move, kind of moved along with the price here today, so that's good. But definitely still keep an eye. I like the volume. I like how it's trying right here. But again, just kind of keep an eye on it. I showed like an example here. Maybe it'll work its way up and then push its way down and then work its way back up again, right? So just kind of see how it holds right here. It's pretty much done with a big impulsive move. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an A, B, C type move down and then work its way up. So something to keep an eye on there. And then Richard also gave a good one here. So ACB. So ACB looking pretty interesting, right? We're kind of in a range right here. It's really kind of a mega triangle here too, right? And it's starting to break down here, but the volume is just so blah. So just be really, really careful with that one. Okay, the volume's not really supporting the drop, but it is dropping. So very interesting right there. Andrew, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. LRN, let's see. So LRN with a big push up here, a little bit of a move down. It may consolidate for a little bit, may triangulate, right, or give us a flag type movement right here. Wait for that, see if that ADMA catches up to it, if it's ready for another move on that one. I know this is a big Citron play. NVIDIA, so a little bit of profit taking on that one. NVIDIA with a decent move right there today. So increased volume today as it held the ADMA. Got a real compressed day yesterday and then came off of that compressed day, and it's still holding trend. So again, the semis were strong again today. MTN. So MTN with a decent cloud breakout there today. Just be careful with that with the low volume. So that's what we have going on there. And then BABA. Okay, so nice gap up on BABA, nice reversal. This is one we were looking at. Again, these crazy gaps on BABA recently on this like nonsense Hong Kong listing stuff has just been like really, really shortable a lot of times at the open, right? So it's just a big move up here, huge pre-market box, right? Big upper shadow right here. We talked about this, right? Trading earnings, trading gaps, things like that. So big upper shadow right here in the lower time frames, and then a push down on that one. So that gave a good short opportunity at the open. It cleared actually a couple of our target levels today at the open, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what kind of follow through gets. Either way, it's kind of stuck in the middle right there. But let's look for some clues over either above or below today's highs or lows. So good stuff. Shirley sent in a couple right there. So Twitter, again, looking pretty good right there. Again, watch out the decreased volume. Also, Twitter's actually getting kind of expensive. It's got earnings coming up. So we traded this one today, but it's a little odd spending $2 on a Twitter option. But it moved. It still made money either way, so that's good. But keep an eye on that one. I like how close above those pivots and close above the triangle right there. But just a little bit of caution going into earnings there. So Lulu, again, finally gave a breakout move right here. We had this compression move right here, this horizontal channel. Finally broke out of there intraday today, right? So that's just kind of one of those ones. Here's that level right there. Happened to correspond with the 15 order. They get a nice volume breakout out of that, and then it started to really kind of move. Right, so it's that was one where you really either had to just kind of be sitting in it or just wait for the move today. And a couple of members actually caught that one today, so that was good. OSTK. This thing is just ridiculous. Just continue to work. I mean, this is one, if you're ever bored, go see what Overstock is doing during the day and see if it can give you a setup. I mean, this thing's just always just so, this thing's been so crazy since it was $2, $50 off of this wild move, right? So double inside 15, right, and worked its way up today. So, Overstock is one just got to look for setups intraday. TXN with the semis, so looking pretty good there today. Earnings coming up tomorrow, I think, after the close. Am I right on that one? Yeah, tomorrow after hours. So keep an eye on Texas Instruments. That can be an interesting one to trade sometimes. Zen, woo! Big breakout move on that one today. I like it. So let's add that to the bullish radar for tomorrow. That's a strong candle right there. Let's see if it either gives a pause day tomorrow or gets some follow through. So keep an eye on today's highs going on Zen tomorrow. And then we're definitely going to put that one on the bullish radar. Wow, big move on Zen today. Nice find on that one, Shirley. Woo! Good stuff. All right, so Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, everybody's asking about Twitter. So yeah, we liked it today on the bullish radar. We just liked how the flow of it, just the general flow. I was looking for some set, but it was just so strong at the open today. We traded this right at the open. It was just like, okay, yeah, this is looking good, right? You go to the lower time frames. It's like, oh yeah, this thing's like really, really going good, and then it gave a nice push up there this morning. So nice momentum move, and then it just kind of went blah for the rest of the day. Kind of lost some steam and didn't have a big volume. So, but again, pushing into earnings too. Hoping it can get a little bit of an earnings run for everybody. Netflix, let's take a look. So Netflix, big reversal today on Netflix. Again, the Qs were strong. So with the Qs just carrying the whole market, stuff like Netflix, little pullbacks or little setups intraday can be reasonable, right? It wasn't a huge day for Netflix, but it gave a couple geometric lines right here, right? You had this kind of triangulating pattern there. You got a nice breakout right here with some volume, right? It worked its way up to the end of the day. But other than that, it was interesting, right? So it's kind of a big dip by the open. Pulled back kind of like to its pre-market levels a little bit right here, and then just this was the area right here to get involved in Netflix, right? Just as the market continued to be strong, those Qs continue to be strong throughout the day. So where it's going to go from here is going to get up and fill the closing gap from earnings. Maybe it filled the open gap. Now we got to see if it can work its way up a little bit higher on that one. And then DTIL. DTL, yeah, so interesting one right here. So it's a good push there. It's all over crazy bit of NASDAQ after hours, but a big upper shadow right there at the 200 day, right? So just kind of keep an eye on that. See if I'd like to see at least a strong close over that, maybe with some volume. But decent candle there today. Good stuff. ZEK, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look. AMD. Again, we liked AMD today. It came right to the geometric line here today with increased volume. So again, risk reward is like kind of okay. Right? This is actually one of our trade of the week ideas that we did in our newsletter. So we love the move today. We caught that a good piece of it today, a little piece of it today, and gave a good move up today. Gave a couple extra entries intraday. Right, again, that flag was just beautiful today on AMD. So let's see if it gets a little bit of a move up tomorrow. It's running into the next geo line, so let's see how that holds going into there. MU, whoo, Semiconductor. Wow, look at MU today, so strong, guys. We've been talking about this for a while. Weekly chart, right, has been really, really compressed. A couple inside weeks, right, really, really tight here at 30-weekly moving average. Right at the cloud, they just kind of bounced off of that today. So what a great run on MU today. Woo! Look at that one. Triangle right there, a couple inside 15s, and then see ya holding that ADMA on that. Big day on MU. So yeah, it's still kind of in a tight range right here, right? So just but what a great day trade that was today. Good stuff. JMIA. Let's see. So JMIA, good move right here. I like how it closed over these pivot levels. I like the volume. Just, let's keep an eye on it. See if we can get a move over today's high. And then Netflix, of course, we just looked at that one too. So nice reversal today. Filled the open gap. Closing gap is the next one for it to deal with. Let's see if we can get up there. But again, still contending with the 80 above it. And then the volume's still pretty good on it today. So let's see if we can get some more strength on that one. S. Lee, what's going on? Apple, beautiful one today. This thing is not only holding trend, but it is just riding the ADMA, right? So just a couple low volume pullback days. What was interesting today is we had a big move and really no volume on it, right? So, but it doesn't mean it didn't go, right? So, Apple was cool, right? Gave you that inside 15 within the 15 range, gave us a nice move right here. We caught this one here, right? Little flag move today to the upside there, so that turned into a nice trade, and then pulled back again. It just kind of channeled up, and then just inside 15 broke out off the ADMA on that one at the end of the day. Really, really impressive stuff there. And then Netflix, again, same thing, right? Just nice reversal off of that. Nice reversal there. Royal, what's going on? Good to see you. Michael, what's happening? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great day, Royal. Absolutely. Yeah, so the Qs, goodness gracious. So the Qs, woo. I don't know what they're saying today, but they said like the NASDAQ hit like all-time highs today. I guess they closed at all-time highs, right? They didn't hit all-time highs today. Maybe I don't know, did the futures hit? No. So it's just just closed at all-time highs. So last time it tagged all-time highs and pulled back pretty quickly on it. So today we closed that. Good volume of the NASDAQ today. Again, this was just so strong. Again, it's just parabolic day. It was pretty impressive stuff. But it was Amazon was so strong. Then Tesla jumped in it, right? Then Apple jumped in. Then Facebook, Netflix. It was all just tech started jumping. It was just software was getting involved. It was just like, okay, here it's the Qs today, right? So just in its own little world. So pretty cool stuff there. Microsoft was a huge one today. Huge move on Microsoft. Potentially starting a little bit of an earnings run right here. Just be careful. See if dips become viable on it. But this is just pretty wild move, right? Big move, big reversal today, right? Again, scary at the open, big move. Inside 15, where it's at inside 15 at ADMA up all day. Beautiful, beautiful. Tesla, of course, again, gave you that triangle move today intraday, and then also a breakout triangle from this compressed double inside day range for a nice move there, and some good volume on Tesla today, right, as we head up into earnings this week, right? And then, let's see, we got Roku, of course. So Roku getting really, really tight here, guys. Looking a little bit, here's a kind of a flaggish type pattern here. You can look at that as kind of like a falling wedge, however you want to look at it, but getting really, really tight here at the Geo, so let's see if this thing's ready to move. And then LVGO, again, huge breakout candle on that one today too, out of that tight flag pattern. So good stuff there. Yeah, I know, hopefully the tech bull run continues. They certainly set it up like it would. So let's see if it can continue. Again, a lot of people getting excited about it, right? So excellent. So Baggish, what's going on? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. So let's take a look at Spot. Woo! Okay, so Spot didn't want to stay compressed for long either. Inside day, and then a huge breakout to the upside. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, everything was just so strong today. This is kind of a funky run, right? I like to see like rising ADM. This is kind of like this, like a curling ADM, but huge moves at the open today. Very, very different than the rest of the market. Was just a big move today, just like kind of Twitter at the open, but got some more follow through on it. Facebook again, still trying to write good candle day, outside day today, holding the prior trend line area. So let's see if it can continue to work its way up. Maybe it could try to get up to its all-time highs there. Docu, again, decent push off of yesterday's highs. I like the volume that came in there, so giving a little bit of a move up on that one. D-Dog, inside day up, couldn't keep this dog down for a while. So anyway, ended up getting back above the upward trend line right there. So let's see if that can hold. A little bit of volume came in on there too. And then PayPal. I mean, PayPal okay there, just a little bit decreased volume on it too, but just kind of got to move with the rest of the market. It's still stuck in the trend box. So good stuff. Matt, what's going on? Good to see you. I know, glad to see you. Glad you tuned in. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, so BA, a little bit of blah here today, right? So, but it's still holding the 50 moving average. It got back into its cloud today, right? So, it's just in the kind of the blah zone right here. Let's see if this thing can like get some good news and like break out, or some bad news and break down, right? I mean, this thing is just getting kind of tight and really sloppy. So it is what it is on that one. But it gave it, some short opportunities at the open, which we pointed out to the group today. Baba, again, same thing, right? It's been given these gaps up, and then they've been reversing. So, again, tough to get any long-term conviction on it, but just these huge gap ups that make no sense sometimes are, good reverse opportunities on that. mRNA, okay, so this was a crazy one today. Got halted at the open. Again, with the AstraZeneca news today. Again, we talked about yesterday about, the possible sell the news type situation on a lot of these names, and that's pretty much exactly what happened with a lot of these. So it gave a move right here, and then everybody who's short at the open got halted, and then it kind of squeezed them out, and then it kind of worked its way back down a little bit too. So, we'll see. It was a little bit weak here today, but it did bounce off the 8 EMA. So good stuff there. And then Facebook, of course, just kind of getting, pretty interesting. Still kind of in this range area, but decent volume, decent push at the end of the day. We like that one. We pointed that one out in the group today. And then Win, a little bit of breakdown there below the 8 EMA on that one. So looking pretty interesting there. So definitely something to keep an eye on here. This is one of those, definitely a good Corona name to see how it holds. I did like the W bottom right here, right? So, W. So I'd really be interested to see if we can break over that level right there and see where it takes us. Maybe it takes us to the top of the cloud. But right now, a little bit of a blah day for Win today. Again, all the money was rotating into tech. So SFDC4S, A-Gang President Credit for good. Thank you. Good to see you. David, what's happening at Uber? Let's take a look at Uber. So Uber was pretty good. This is on a bullish radar yesterday. I think we put it on the game plan yesterday. Anyway, nice breakout here out of the triangle today. A little bit of resistance at the cloud, but a decent move today. Gave a scary pullback here intraday, and then it held and just kept on going. Right. So let's see if we get any follow through. Again, a crazy little cloud area right there. See if we can get out of that cloud over the next couple days, which would be great. J-Moss, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Spot, huge breakout candle today. Definitely want to keep on the radar. So let's keep an eye on that one again and see if that gives another move to the upside. Maybe a pause day, whatever the case, whatever it decides to do on that one. Definitely keep an eye on that one. Box, great move on Box today. So that's a good one. DB isn't DBX, isn't that the other one too? I think Dropbox had an upgrade today too. Definitely keep an eye on that one. Huge move as it got all the way up to another pivot level. Just a great move on that one today. That was on our on the radar here a little bit today as well. So APT. Still hanging in there, right? So just lots of crazy ranges and stuff, but still not quite strong enough above that prior pivot level, but looking pretty interesting. So definitely want to keep an eye on still, just in case, right? IDEX, okay, so decent move right there. A little low volume, but something to keep an eye on there. Workhorse got some call activity today, so they tried to buy the dip on this one here, so that's good. Got back over the 80 MA, held that trend line that we drew yesterday, or drew the other day. and a beautiful bounce off of that with some good volume. So Workhorse could be interesting if it, you know, I'm going to put that on the long radar too because I like that volume off of that trend line. So that could be a good one too. So let's continue to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, absolutely, my pleasure. Good to see you. Cesar, what's going on? Good to see you. Good job today. All right, fantastic stuff. Let's take a look. What else we got? So X-Country Kev, good to see you. Intel, let's take a look. So Intel, big breakout candle right here. Good volume on this one today. Again, earnings coming up. We've been tracking this one for potential earnings run, and it looks like it tried to today too. So again, a little nice move here with the semis. And you can kind of see how it did. It just kind of held the ADMA for the whole day, kind of pulled back, and then a big buy the dip bounce on that one. Again, tech was so strong today. And then SONO, hanging in there with an inside day, so see how that pause candle goes on Sonos. And then T was some downside. Let's take a look. Oh, you mean something went down today? Crazy. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? It was really skewed because most of those tech names are good right here. But here we go. Here's your level. Right, we might see a little bit of a pullback to this geometric line, but you got all sorts of funky levels. Really, what I would look for, it's tough to say. You got earnings coming up right here. It's just kind of in the sloppy zone. I would just be careful with it. So, again, let's wait till after earnings, see what it has in store. So good stuff. Heather, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. Good to see you. Woohoo! Apple and Tesla. I know, yeah, we covered it, but again, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Great candle on Apple today. I love how it held the 8 AMA. The only thing is I couldn't get increased volume on it, but price doesn't really care, but for us it does just to get more conviction to be like, hey, there's a real buying going on here. So again, I'd like to see another it'd be interesting to see another pullback on this one, and then to see if it can give us maybe like a better setup for an earnings run or something like that. So we'll see what that does with Apple, but again, still holding trend just incredibly. And then Tesla, of course, is profiled a little bit earlier, but big breakout candle on that one. So let's see. I mean, it's up another 20 points after hours. Let's see if it gets any more activity going in tomorrow. But great job on that one today, Heather. Great job on both of them. Fantastic. Elmo, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. eBay. Yeah, so eBay with what was today, like the spinoff news on it, and or selling their ad unit, and it really, it gapped up today, which is great, but it was just kind of blah, right? Gapped up in reverse and then just stayed in the 15 orb. This is like kind of a shame on that one with the rest of the tech doing well on that one. But again, I guess, they get rid of a big revenue stream, so maybe people are like, I don't know if I want to own this thing. So it's had a pretty epic run up though recently. So Ken, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Zoom. Yeah, how about Zoom hanging in there too? Zoom doesn't care whether it's Corona or not. I'm a tech stock and I'm going up. Right, so really, really tight range right here to one of the recent trend lines that we reviewed. Right, big volume today. Right, and a huge move at the open. Goodness gracious, look at that. Big move right there. Really tight move. A little bit of flag type pattern at the 80 and then a big move up there. And then that was pretty much the day. Like, it was just a huge move right there. So you give another move up, kind of almost a symmetrical move. So let's see what we can do. See if we get over these highs, right? Again, this 270 level is going to be a key area for it. Are they? What's going on? Ahoy! So let's take a look. So I lost it. There you go. So Cyber, let's take a look. Okay, see where we are. Yeah, so good volume on this one here. I like, let's see how this goes. High, 117.41, and we closed. Yeah, so we closed above this pivot level right here. I like the volume that came in there. Definitely going to keep an eye on. Good stuff. Rich, what's going on? Good to see you. How's the FSLY ABC plan going? So FSLY, yeah, it's kind of playing out, right? So here's your A. Right, here's your B. So it's kind of working its way up to the B right there. So it's kind of looking like a zigzag type move, and we'll see maybe like a C move down, and then see where we go from there. Again, we're guessing at this point because it was such an impulsive move up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of corrective move and then another push to the upside. But the way this stock has been, who knows? Maybe that it's done and then it's ready to go. So we'll see how that goes. So good. And then TGT is a triangle that may end soon. Yeah. So TGT guys, it used to give some better setups like a couple years ago. But it's just been so blah, right? So if you go back to, I can't even get back to 2017, but it used to give really nice trending moves and used to have like good spreads, but ever since, I don't know, it's just been crazy since Corona and even before that. But really, really crazy moves right. Yeah, but here's your triangle right here. So again, up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's see how it holds. Let's see if it breaks out one way or the other. Exactly. Good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Hope you're doing well. Jay, what's going on? Hello, hello. Good to see you. So SD, let's take a look. So you got Apple, of course, again, holding trend and just generally being strong. Would have loved to have seen a little more volume on that one, but let's see if we get some follow through on that one. Netflix, huge reversal today. Decent volume, right? Just had earnings the last day, just the other day. So, let's see if we can kind of build from here. Again, the ADMA is still pointing down, though. Let's see if we can push above it. It would be great. And then Venkata, what's going on? FMCI. Okay, yeah, nice little move today. I got over the ADMA today, so a little bit of an upper shadow, so just be careful with that. So, Michael, yeah, iBio. Woo! Non-stop inside day up the other day, right, on Friday, and then a nice gap up and then a push off of that one there. Very, very nice stuff. And then B-tie. Gap reverse. Careful that for a potential reversal on that one. A-bio. Decent move with a little bit of volume finally came in this one. M-bio. Another nice move. I'm noticing a trend right here. X-bio. Big move up there. Crazy upper shadows on that one. N-tech. Decent move is still below the 200-day moving average. So just be careful with that one. Woo! Too epic. Been writing since 1.5. I know. That's fantastic. Good job. Anything that's in bio. Exactly. I love it. It's got the Berkshire cup and handle. I love it. Yeah, very, very nice. Big, 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 big. Big candle now. See if we can get over the 200 day. It would be nice. Samit, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. OPK. Let's take a look. Woo, nice pause day there today on OPK. Let's see if that can follow through the upside. I like it. I like it. Anki, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Let's take a look here. So, yeah, so FedEx. Let's take a look. Yeah, so FedEx had a great day the other day. A little bit of pullback here. Again, transports were weak today, right? FedEx was weak today. This is one of the ones we looked at on the short side this morning. We didn't really trade it because of the spreads and all that stuff, but it definitely was moving down right here. And just kind of blah, right? So it had a huge move the other day. It's kind of within that range right here. I might, pull back and try to test those ranges and see where it goes from there. So it could be interesting. And then Docu. Again, been forever bullish. Still hanging out in that channel. It's a nice move there. I like how all the AMA. I like the volume that came in as well. So Michael ZS. Yeah, good candle on that one. Volume is good. It's not great, but I like how it broke out of the flag right there. And then work. Okay, yeah, work still in that long range pattern right there, but a good candle today. So good stuff there. So JMOS, yeah, we just looked at OPK, so there's another one. I like it, guys. Great minds think alike. Right, so nice pause day today. Possible doji sandwich going in tomorrow. Gary, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Snap. Snap Attack. Pretty decent today. Earnings coming up tomorrow. After hours. So let's see how it goes today. Decent move today. Again, definitely want to keep an eye right here. It's had an epic run up. Let's see what it has in store for its earnings report tomorrow after the close. So meet CDNS. Yeah, woo, big move, big candle on that one today. Looks like we just had earnings too. So good. So keep an eye on today's high and see if you can get a momentum move a day after earnings move through today's high. Jay, what's going on? CLIX. Yeah, good compression to expansion on that one. I love the Marubozu candle on that one with good volume. So see if that gets any follow through to the upside on that one. Newsy. A little tricky there. Upper shadow. SWM. Hanging in there at the 8-day. CHD. A little bit of pause there right there on that one. So Church and Dwight, yeah. So again, it's holding. I love. Don't you guys love Monero? It's like the best invention ever. Anyway, so baking soda, you gotta love it. Here and here, holding trend. Good stuff. Brilliant. Good. So Rob, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing great too. There's your Dexcom. I know you love this one. DXCM. Let's take a look. Hey, nice pause day today. It's still kind of doing its job right there. Volume on this thing's a little bit blah. It's got earnings coming up, but let's see if we can continue to give a run for you. Workhorse. Again, guys, I'm keeping Workhorse in the radar here. I love how it bounced with some volume there off of the trend line there. I don't like the upper shadow, but I definitely want to keep an eye on it going into tomorrow. SWKS. Yeah, good candle on that one today. Not quite closing above all-time highs, but it's trying to. It's getting there. Spot's definitely going to be on the radar for tomorrow. Huge candle today. Amazing stuff. BYND. Yeah, kind of compressed right there, so let's see where that goes going into tomorrow. It's getting really, really tight on Beyond. Walmart, it's looking rough. It really looks like it's curling over, doesn't it? So just something to keep an eye on there. But I think they were selling one of their units, like their grocery store units, in overseas. Home Depot just kind of hanging in there, getting tight as well. Maybe we get some sideways action over here to the upper trend line, and then see a bounce off of it. So good stuff. Thanks, Gary. And then Z with a breakout. Let's see. I wanted just Z. Yeah, Zillow Group. Yeah, decent right here. I wouldn't call this a breakout right now, right? I mean, it's we got a fresh high today, but we didn't close above it, right? So it's just kind of an upper shadow off of that one. So we want us a breakout. We want to see like Spotify, right? That kind of candle. That's a breakout. So, but yeah, but it gave a nice pop today, so that's good. Jay Weemy. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we mean a little bit working its way down there, but it is doing it on low volume today, so something to keep an eye on there. Michael, AMD all-time highs before earnings. Let's go! Come on, make a move. I know, right? Make the phone call. Let's do it. Bye. So hopefully, let's see if we can do it right there. So increased volume here. Right at some geo lines right here. Risk reward's a little bit tricky right here off of this selling pressure, but it would be cool to see it get there. I'd really love to see like AMD make like an epic run up to like 100. Get up to triple digits. That'd be so cool. So Anki, what's going on? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's give you a recovery. Oh, okay, gotcha. So let's say with ZI, we haven't covered that one yet. That's finally trying to make a little bit of a recovery right here. I like the increased volume back over the 8 days, so that's a good thing for it. Gush. Again, just still really, really compressed here, right? It's kind of one of those just crazy ETF ones, right? That those 2x ETFs, but pretty cool stuff there. JP Morgan, again, pulling back a little bit right here. The banks are weak, right? So they did not participate in the move today. CHNG, holding the 8 day, but kind of stuck at the cloud right there. And then the XLF again, still a little bit of relative weakness there, but it's still holding the 8 day. It's not super weak, but it just didn't participate today. So lots of flow into the big tech names again. So pretty crazy stuff there. Jamie's, what's going on? AZN, let's take a look. Yeah, so AstraZeneca, guys, big move today, sell the news. So anybody who held to this candle today, right, especially on news day, right, gift horse gap right here, guys. So it gave a nice move right here. We actually had, I know at least one member had this over the weekend, and it's so frustrating when it was up like this after hours, then it gaps down, and then it comes back up. So it gave you a nice gift horse move to get out of it today. Now, we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on it, see if it gives us some sort of setup on it. Levi, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Yeti while you're here. Still doing it, all-time highs. So you get, look at that, incredible stuff. You gotta love it. Gotta keep stuff cool. It's summertime. Baggage is going DG, long time sideways action. I know exactly. I think Barron's was there's a couple folks were talking about this one today. So recently, but yeah, getting right there, right at that geometric level. It needs some volume, right? So to try to get going again. But it's had some positive mentions recently. So let's see if we can do it. I know, right? Exactly. And then DLTR too, please. Right. So it's trying. There was some good write-ups on it. I saw a couple things recently. So DLTR, a little bit different on that. I like the DG is definitely looking like a better candle. Gary, yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, definitely stay safe. Really appreciate you. Jay, always good, always good. Anki, what's going on? So why bank stocks are weak? I guess nobody wants cheap stock. Oil is also weak. I thought oil will go up if everything starts to open. I still see more travel since lockdown ease. Supply and demand, right? Exactly. Right now, today was all about sector rotation. Right, they were just pumping the big tech names today. It just is what it is. So it's not that those were looking weak today. They're kind of drooping back a little bit, but all the money was flowing into the other guys. So just is what it is. But we'll keep an eye on it, see if they can get some strength back in there. I'm definitely keeping an eye on the banks. They just had earnings, so I'd like to see if they can pick a direction. Right. So Roku again holding the geometric line here, kind of getting a tight flag. So let's see how that goes. The nest. Good to see you. Home Depot getting tight right here. Possible sideways action to the trend line, then see if it gets a move off of that. And then NetEase. Decent candle on that one, low volume. That's a really, really tricky one to trade, but it can pay dividends if you catch it right. Vroom with a nice move today. Vroom. Got back over the opening day high on that one, so that's always a good one. LVGO with a breakout candle today as well, out of the flag pattern, so let's see if that gets some follow through. IBM, guys. IBM. 15-hour radar for tomorrow. Earnings tonight. It's up to 132.05 after hours. Right, the real key level we want to see this get over tomorrow for potential gap and go is over 135.88. So figure like 136. Right, if we can get above that, we might see a move. We got an open gap right here. There's also an open gap right here, but I doubt IBM would be that strong going tomorrow. But you never know. Net. Decent candle there. I like how it got back above the trend line. So we were talking about that yesterday. So and it did it. So Albemarle, so just kind of hanging in there. A little bit of a bearish candle, but still holding the prior day's lows. Right, iRobot, it's really, really tricky one to trade with options. Again, let's just kind of keep an eye on it right here, see how it holds these levels. This is your major geometric line, your major trend line right here. Right, and then you got this right here is potential bump line right there. So it's kind of between those levels right there. So it's just really, really tricky area on that one. Basically trend box for it. Right, and then C, again, watch out for the banks here, but again, look for ones that pull back on low volume. Right, and then see how they so just kind of hanging in there. But if it gets some more volume to push it out of the cloud, it might be a short idea. Right, so pins. Decent bounce today. I like it. It's got earnings coming up. See how it reacts to Snap earnings coming up, so that could be interesting. And then VRTX. Looks really good. Can't find a good option, though. Spread's terrible. Yeah, I know. It stinks. Even call spreads could be tough on it, so that's going to be a tough one right there. But great candle today. Beautiful stuff. And then Etsy. Yeah, Etsy kind of hanging in there, right? Still holding the upper trend line. Decent volume on that one today. So again, just a lot of these tech names, just others we're strong all day or perked up, and we're strong later. So again, FSOI, we're still in the trend box. We're gonna see how that holds, and then now killed it for you. Good, great job on that one. Great move on that. So good push over those pivot levels there. Just an incredible move on that one. Great stuff. Anki, yeah, my pleasure. The Nest VBIV. Let's take a look. VBIV, yeah, big gap up and reversal on that one today. So just be careful with that. And COCP. Yeah, huge move on that one. A good farmer name. Good push on that one today. Good stuff. So, Bagish, with the tech strength of this magnitude, we might see a spillover in the next few trade days. I hope so, man. I hope so. I know a lot of folks are counting on it, but we'll see. We'll see what they have in store for us. Again, a lot of it was low volume, which is kind of weird, right? Big breakouts and low volume. But Amazon was good today. Amazon was strong. See how that could hold, too. Ooh, that could get scary, too. Anyway, good stuff. Heather, my pleasure. It's great to see you here, and I hope you have a great night. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Michael, good to see you, too. I hope you have a great night. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Awesome chart requests, great questions, and it's been a fun discussion. It's been a fun discussion so far on day trading these compression moves. What am I looking at for tomorrow? We're going to keep an eye on our go-to list, right? So all the high beta tech names, right? We'll take some of the major the financials tomorrow, and then we'll see what we have setting up for tomorrow morning. And any of the stuff that you guys pointed out here tonight too, that goes on the game plan if it's good, right? So if it looks interesting, so we like to look at that too. So those are the major ones right there. I want to see if AMD gets some follow through to the upside on that one, but it had a big day today, so we'll see how those go too. So anyway, but we'll see what the market has in store for us tomorrow, and it's always going to be interesting. So we'll see you, and there's always something to learn. So we'll see you guys then. We'll see you guys in the morning. I hope everybody has a great evening. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification button. And whether you're new here or not, be sure to hit the like button. We always appreciate that. And I hope everybody has a great evening. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game.